had
Meghan Trainor was
my
an industry
days.
plant
I had my days.
by the fast food industry, by the way,
What?
to promote unhealthy eating habits. All about the bass, no treble. I'm all about the bass. That is my Nini conspiracy theory, by the way.
Oh my god.
Welcome to episode 10 of Breaking Hertz. Kama kawaida, it's your boy Hafare, aka Mr. Metronome, aka your girlfriend's boyfriend, aka Rodney Malik Casino, nimeongeza ingine mpya, aka a drugged out communist.
Where is
kama
your
kawaidi,
kufi? Where is your kufi for episode 10?
No, I decided to come show the thighs. Like,
You
I don't know.
continue to lie another week.
No, as in no, like, you know, the women,
Okay.
the women are in my DM asking me, like, tuna siku gani mapaja? I'm like, leo ndio siku mazi. And with me kawaida,
It's your girl, Suki Muraga, aka Suki.jpg, aka Anita Muraga, aka Jessica Rabbit. Niko na ingine? Uzumaki.
Yes.
Thank you for another week of Breaking Hertz. And we're excited to share a lot with you today. There's been a lot of music in the past week.
mi sina vitu mingi za kusema. Sina maoni. Anyway, before we continue, you've read Uzumaki?
Yes,
By
I
Junji
have read.
Ito?
Yes.
But if you haven't, like, tuko na a
And
bit
you've
of
gotten to
culture.
if you've gotten to episode 10, then by now you should like have gotten familiar with Junji Ito's work.
Yes,
Uzumaki
please.
is a really good
Uzumaki, Tomie, the Fault of Mount Ikagara. He's a horror mangaka. He writes horror manga, but he's the most cheerful, wonderful, bright person I've ever seen in interviews. I wonder, how the fuck does something so dark come from the mind of the happiest person alive?
That's another conversation
Ya siku ingine.
for another day. Yeah.
Anyway, let's dive right into it.
What
Chubui?
Yes. Should I start? Or will
Mine
you?
a few. Like, I really didn't get through a lot of music this week for personal reasons. Yeah.
Personal reasons.
Yes.
Is that, what's a personal reason for not listening to music?
Okay.
Okay, it's personal.
Tutakuwa
It's
flagged
personal.
bana.
It's personal.
Wasi wataanza kuweka hapa suicide
Personal.
na.
Si lazima useme.
Si lazima niseme. Mtanipeleka therapy nikisema.
Zenye ulisikiza. It's what you listen to that matters.
What I listen to that matters. Sawa.
Yeah.
There was Konnichiwa by Skepta. Little throwback. Tumerudi back in time. I believe his magnum opus. Like alitokea akiambia wase. You know, it's that rapid fire grime. That man. And Skepta, he flexes in such an interesting way.
Yeah.
He has the most uncle flex of all time. Where he'll say something that's not a flex. But if you think about it, you're like,
That's kind of a flex.
that's kind of a flex. He has an uncle flex that makes no sense. He has that, like, you know, that guy at the corner who always sits like mtaenyu. There's a guy who always sits at the corner, base ya jaba, anachana, and ana drive Prado. And no one has any idea what he does.
Yeah.
But he always has money. And he's always telling you, oh, I know this person, I know that person. And you have no idea what he does. I believe, like, if Skepta wasn't a rapper, he'd be that dude. The most subtle of flexes that makes no sense in the scenario. But anyway, an amazing album, by the way. You should go revisit it. It's like 6 years old.
Yeah.
6, 7, I'm not really sure, 2015,
2016.
Yes, 6 years old. Please, you have, if you're listening to this, I'm sure you've had many failed relationships in that time. You have suffered alcoholism and depression.
God damn.
But there's been one constant. That Skepta's album has been constantly good. Yeah.
It stayed the course.
Yes, unlike your relationships. I'm sorry. Nasema tu kweli.
Tumekuachia ukuwe na personal reasons zako, so unaingilia personal reasons za watu wengine.
Labda personal reasons zangu ndo zinanifanya nikuwe bitter. Have you thought about it like that?
I have. Is it going to be a tough episode?
Oh, no.
Okay.
This has to be easy because life is tough already.
I get you.
Anyway, next up we have our favorite Nigerian, you know, so wine. What's it? That song, Alpha Wine. Not. I've forgotten another name. Fuck it. More Love, Less
Bombay.
Ego. Yes. More Love, Less Ego by Wizkid. His long-awaited, very, very anticipated follow-up to Nini. And again, I've forgotten the name of his last album, 10.
But that
Made in
speaks-
Lagos, yes. Because I was trying to think it's not sounds from the other side.
Yeah, but it speaks to how strong this album is, I guess, as a follow-up. If you don't remember the name of the last album.
No, I just blanked, but Made in Lagos.
Fair.
And I liked it personally. I have seen it has gotten very divisive reviews online. because there are people who expected more like Sound It, because a song that came out in 2015, they wanted that, maybe not a bit of evolution, but we'll discuss that later. But personally, I liked it. I really liked the vibe on the album. I feel like Wizkid is going in a different direction compared to Made in Lagos. Made in Lagos was like the big coming out album. Like, look at me, I'm here, world, and I'll make songs for the American market. That was Made in Lagos. It's the same thing Burna Boy is doing now with like the last album.
But at the same time,
why am I blanking on these names?
Nah. but like I like that you've mentioned that it's a follow up in terms of like his international sort of debut. Because he's going to be playing Madison Square Garden this week. You know, for the first time.
He's going to sell out
on November 16th. So by the time this episode comes out, that's Wednesday.
Yeah, that's the day after. Like this will come out the day after. Yeah. So okay.
So yeah, it is pretty evocative. What was your favorite song on the album?
I really fuck with Bad to Me Bado, Adisa Easy.
Yeah.
There's the one he did with Nani. What's it called? I have to check the names. With Don Toliver. That was a really nice song. Let me just.
Also the one with Skepta. I feel like him and Skepta are like.
Really him and Skepta have chemistry that works.
So I figured that's why you're listening to Konnichiwa. Like
actually no. I Skepta song came on a playlist I was listening to and I was like, okay, let's. Also, To Sugar was nice with Arya Star. Wow, special. Like Frames, who's gonna know?
Yeah.
A lot of nice songs on this album. But I understand that some people were not, this is a bit out there for some people, so they might not have responded to it the way you would expect a Wizkid album imparted the response. But I'm sure it's going to do its numbers. And as time goes on, people are going to appreciate it more. I liked it. And finally, which dropped on the same day as Wizkid, Nikita Kering, A Side of Me.
Oh, yeah.
I was disappointed by this.
What?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe I feel like I have higher expectations of what Nikita Kering can do. Because, as in, was it as good as Nini? The last project? No.
Not really, but...
And also, it didn't have that... It didn't have a tentpole single, because X was the linchpin that held together the project. So you expect with Nikita Kering and the people who are behind her, like the people who are supporting her, the people she's working with, Nikita Kering isn't running her operation out of like a rinky-dink bathroom in Kibera. Like, they're not recording with crates on the wall. Like, she has serious money and writers behind her. So, I don't know, I was expecting more. Even the promotion for the record, I didn't see any promo. Like, me, I just found out because I went to new releases on my Apple Music. Like, Nikita Kering ametoa project leo. Like, what's the promo?
There had been, though. Like, people had been talking about it for a while. For a while, I also thought it was only going to be released on Boomplay. So like, it was even today, I was going to look for it on Spotify. And I found it's been listed as a single. Like, there's just a lot that's
maybe the
messed up right now, but
the rollout dropped. I'm not gonna say it's a bad record. That's the first thing. It's not. But did it meet?
Different.
Plus, who the fuck hurt her? Hey.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. I think for me, what I enjoyed about it is that it's a detour from like the Nikita that we know. It's more of a. The project is called The Other Side of Me. The other side.
Yeah.
So if it's called The Other Side, then it's like probably like a dark in-betweener from the last project.
Okay, I could see the point of it.
Or like her exploring like a different side of herself. There's a lot of like grungy. Sijui vile nita explain vile hizo beats zina sound, but like it's a bit dirty, it's a bit different for Nikita. It's an older, more mature, stepping into like realizing that you can't be giving these niggas your soft energy all the time.
Moving into your Chloe Bailey era.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
but Chloe can't be dark for shit. So let's not make that comparison.
Chloe Sinule Nini, the one who's always horny on Twitter,
yeah.
That's the way I know that I differentiate the two of them. One of them is in a Disney movie, one of them is always horny on Twitter. And these two things are No, is it a bad thing?
Okay, no, it's not a bad thing.
Bro, mimi na hizo picha zote nimezilike zote. Akipost photo mimi ni mtu wa kwanza kulike. Ukipitia favorites zangu mazee. Which by the Elon Musk, if you're listening, please just make it possible for us to hide our favorites on Twitter, please. Just like TikTok.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that was my week. As in, the Nikita record is it's not bad. Maybe it's just not for me. I just didn't vibe with it.
Yeah.
Like you can always get to that point, and I feel so bad that there's so much music that came out like on Friday that I haven't listened to yet. There's still King's Disease 3 and I don't know what. Kuna vitu tu mingi zimetoka. Green Tea Peng is out.
There's new Green Tea Peng.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, there should be new Green. Bungoja, let me confirm because I saw like.
But yeah, I thought you were gonna talk about King's Disease today. I haven't listened to it
Ata mi
yet.
bado.
I feel like I was on a different tip last week.
And I feel maisha tu linifikia, but nitazipitia tu zote. We have time.
You will.
You know me, I work on the weekend. So and you?
Yeah, so I wasn't feeling well last week, so I mostly spent it listening to stuff that I thought would help me feel better. Music therapy is definitely a thing. So and there are also just a couple of new projects that I was looking forward to from artists that I've heard from before, but others that I haven't, like completely. New projects, in particular from Liboy. I don't know if you know about Liboy.
Yes, I do.
So she released her debut EP, State of Being. Was it
No, I love how
on the 9th?
I love how when an artist puts out like a very philosophical title for an album, State of Being. Because you are like, okay, sawa.
No,
Thank you, Nishi.
No,
Thank you.
she's very like she's super introspective. That's what I got from like just her naming it State of Being and also saying that it's reflections in search of paradise and freedom.
Sigmund Freud would have loved that.
And I think it even undersold itself because for me I found it it was different. I've never listened to Liboy before, and then I get into it and like she has these powerful vocals, you know, very, very, very amazing vocal control. She sings in Swahili, so like she's exploring mental health, but like using themes or like a language that is more familiar to like a bunch of people in Kenya, which I thought was great. The mixing really elevated the experience.
Swahili, like Nani, what's it called?
Like remember the
Kalamoto, Nyota Ndogo.
Yeah, no, I think Nyota Ndogo would be like not a strong parallel, especially because she's making like Afrofusion. It's a very different sound, but I felt taken by the things that she was singing about, and I thought the mixing also made for a really interesting listen, especially because it's a first EP. It's brilliant. So State of Being by Liboy, make sure you check it out. One of my faves, Akoth Jumadi.
Ooh, shout out to Akoth Jumadi.
Akoth Jumadi also released Yonika, The Way Is Here, which is her debut album. And I personally enjoyed it. It flowed after listening to Liboy, especially because I was looking for that kind of vibe. And one thing about Akoth is she'll always deliver.
Yeah.
She always delivers. Have you watched her live?
Yes, I have. I watched her live at The Mist.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, not The Mist, Muse. I get the two confused, the M's.
But one thing I love about her is, if you've seen her in person, if you've interacted with her in any way, she has this very calming energy about her. And she carries this into her music as well. But like once you get into the music, it's more powerful. There's a lot of I love the way that they use strings, her and Liboy. Like the guitar and the music definitely makes for a very therapeutic sound. And a thing about Akoth that makes me want to learn how to I just want to understand Luo, just ata kidogo, because she has such complex.
You're inviting demons in your life. Luo, man, hey,
no, she has.
You learn Luo, you'll attract Luo, man, and then you will unlearn Luo. There's a process that goes on here, by the way. Utajua, experience, alafu utasema mbona nilijua.
I just want to understand. Like some of her lyrics are so complex and so lovely.
Mwambia kutumia script.
I need to make translation.
Akutumia nini hiyo pen aliandika hiyo writing pad. Hadi iko na liner notes.
Anyway, at least najua unaniombea mazuri.
Of course. Only the best.
But yes, Luo it's an amazing language in my opinion. I want to learn where Venant.
Peleka mtu Kisumu bana.
But yes, so the way is here. It's a recollection of stories, poetry, music, and time. The architect of the future, Akosi Jumadi. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to listen to this project.
She's called the architect of the future.
Yeah, that's the term that she carries herself with as well. I just love experiencing her as an artist. So definitely looking forward to more from her. And then this is someone that I started listening to because I was looking for people. I was looking for a new artist on Twitter, and Njeri.
Yes.
Right? So Njeri had been tweeting about an artist called Nyax. I have never listened to Nyax. I don't know if you'd put them in the Kilimani Baby category.
Oh Mama Fegi. Shout out to Oh Mama Fegi. He has a name called Kilimani Baby, actually. What a fucking name. Like, that's a name I want to... Oh Mama Fegi. I'm so interested. Like, hey, uni nani bana? Uni nani?
But yes, I feel like all of it just seemed like I was listening to a bunch of sad nigga music this week. But for real, Too Young for Love, it's a project by Nyax. It's an EP featuring another artist called 19. I really like Gen Z's in Nairobi and the music that they're coming out with. So Nyax was definitely a surprise for me. I also listened to The Other Side by Nikita Kering, but we've already talked about that. More Love, Less Ego by Wizkid. We've already talked about that as well. Yeah. And finally, I dove into it. If you listen to Salt, you know that they came out with about 5 projects about 2 weeks ago. Salt is okay. I don't know how I'm going to talk about this group because it's more of an experimental project. I
think we can talk about it when we get to the point where we're supposed to talk about it. Because I actually wanted to transition from More Love, Less Ego into the whole divisiveness of the album and how expectations are artists, the fans and artists sometimes, they're really not well placed. Because when Nini came out, when the album came out, it came out in the middle of the night. I was asleep. So I was like, okay, I'm waking up. And I go on Twitter and it's like, Wizkid amefanya nini? Wizkid FC, oh, this guy, what is this? What is he doing? What is this? What is that? What were guys expecting from him? Guys wanted another Essence.
Vegas.
Yeah, they wanted Essence. That's what they wanted. They wanted a last.
You said they wanted a last. That was insulting.
No, but honestly, last ni ngoma ya nani? Who is it made for? We have 10, 12 years of Burna Boy tracks you can look back to as Africans. Last is made for white frat girls in sorority girls in Oregon.
Oh my God.
And that's
a tall statement.
No, again, I do not mean that in a bad way. It's easy insult because at the end of the day, this is a business. You have to expand and grow and find new markets and make the most of your investment. The biggest market in the world is the American market for any musician. If you can break into that market, you are set. Making a song for that market is a no-brainer. That is what Last is. From the fucking sample all the way to your chorus na chantiwa. It's made for quick penetration into 40 radio, and that's what it did. Guys in New York are singing that song in the street. That was the goal, and I feel it only came about because of what happened with Essence. Essence went number 1.
Yeah, it did.
Which is a crazy thing. Justin Bieber has the juice, by the way. It's Danganyane. That song doesn't hit number 1 without Justin Bieber.
Oh
but
God.
Last was a song meant for a new market, to break into a new market. Burna Boy has made songs for us for millions of years. The same thing with Wizkid. We have 4, 5, 6 albums worth of material from Wizkid that you can always look back on as Africans. I always play Sound It. I always play Ojo Legba at an American party.
But I feel like I've seen this even on a show. I feel like the music selection on most shows is usually just a bunch of Afrobeats tracks that we already know as popular, and then they throw them in as, okay, sir, now we're showing you an African market, an African...
I think that's a show. I feel at a party.
Kina Insecure and them, you don't think they influence the things that people listen to?
Imagine the whitest part of America.
Okay.
Do you think, you could play Essence, they're going to vibe to it, but you're not going to play Ojo Legba?
Okay, how do you know?
Of course, these niggas are gonna be like, try shit.
I'm just saying we can't speculate about something
No,
like that.
have you know the meme? Ile meme atimsana anasema kwa kona. Alafu guys are partying ati they don't know I listen to old Wizkid.
White people TikTok.
Exactly. Those people, do you think wanasikiza Joel Legba?
The barest minimum, yes.
No, they don't. Ati sound it. Ati ginger. They matter. Those guys are not listening to those songs.
God is looking at you right now and he's about to send you the whitest babe who listens to Afrobeats. Deep.
Give me that passport, baby. Give me that passport. Are you Canadian? Me, British Columbia. I'm moving there quick, baby. You think that's a bad thing? The Lord is going to bless me.
No,
a white woman who listens to Afrobeat. Give me that passport. We're going to play Nini.
It's not an insult. It's just like I'm saying white people actually like chana, like they like to know their shit. Especially when they know that you don't expect them to know their shit. That's when they'll bring it out.
But this is a white American we're talking about.
Okay, yeah. You can't defend white Americans.
Exactly. These niggas think South Africa is the capital city of Africa. You think they're going to take time to figure out, now Wizkid akona ngoma gani zingine? They're not going to do that. But again, we've strayed so far. My point being, when I listened to the album, I realized this is an album I think Wizkid made for himself, just to explore his artistic side and the limits of how far I could go, compared to making an album to make sure that I need 10 million from the label.
Yeah.
Because once you get to a point as an artist where you're comfortable, where your name means something, to the point where it will sell regardless, and that gives you the leeway to just do whatever you want. Because if Wizkid didn't have Made in Lagos, the label wouldn't have allowed him to put out this album. So that's what happened with Nani.
Okay.
And this is just a weird. This is going to be a weird comparison. But I remember in 2011 when Beyonce put out self-titled, Sindio.
Yeah.
The reason she put out the whole Nini. This is the unofficial reports. The reason she put it out so bila promotion is because the label didn't want to greenlight a promotion budget without a number one single Single Ladies. And they weren't sure that any of those singles could actually match that. And this is when Katy Perry had put out Firework. And so the label is like, we need you to do Katy Perry numbers if you can't. But you see, but because of her name, she has the leeway to actually just go out and do whatever the fuck she wants. Because the label also knows, regardless, we're going to get our money back. I feel like Wizkid is at that point. And maybe Burna Boy's next album now, once you've worked with the Ed Sheerans, you've worked with all of these big artists, umekuwa established, you have your last, you have your essence. You can go do whatever the fuck you want because the label knows your name is money.
I do.
So the expectation of fans maybe at this point, who are you making the music for? That's the question.
I also feel like I don't think you can comment on it in that way, specifically and only because I don't think Wizkid has ever explicitly said he's making music for the people. He's always taking his own detours and people are always picking up whatever he throws. Because it's mostly, I don't know, he came out with his own sound. He comes out with his own themes that he wants to explore. I feel like the collaborations for this particular album are new. Probably never seen. I don't think I've seen anything with him and Don Toliver before.
That was so unexpected. Actually, I expected a Travis Scott collab. I really thought there would be a Travis Scott collab.
And Wizkid collab tomorrow.
Hey.
Twitter might as well just shut down today.
But the Don Toliver one was left field because I saw a few Arya Star was expected. He's always working with new artists.
He is,
Skepta, there's the Skilly Bang. Shensia Skilly Bang. You could expect that. But your Don't Toliver, it was out of left field. And it vibed, it worked. I really like that song right there. So what you're saying is that Wizkid anaendanga tu njia yake, ni mafans wamefika pale hawezi mfuata.
Yeah, exactly. He's figured a point where he's now evolving beyond what he thinks his fans expect of him. It's him taking his own steps. You can keep making an essence, or you can keep making a Made in Lagos over and over again, and to make sure that you've solidified your position as a Nigerian artist. But Burna Boy is already making last. I don't have to do it in the same way. I can do exactly what I want, And that's what I got from he's on there insulting Buju, throwing jabs at Buju and stuff. So like he's really just having
Buju
fun.
Ni, like the guy who's called banana
Hata siwezi soma jina yake.
Mimi navitanga tu banana. Why would you change your name to like banana, I guess, from Buju? But I think Wizkid was with this album, he was in a lose-lose situation where you put out something that people like what he put out and people like, oh, we don't fuck with this. Or you could put out an album like Made in Lagos and guys will be like, Monoja evolve as an artist.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like he just realized probably like it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. So just do
what
you
nijibambe banze. And again, the album is gonna do numbers. That we do not care. We are listening to that album repeatedly.
It's fantastic. A lot of Kenyans love it, as far as I know, which is, I guess, like the next popular market way.
Oh no, for any Nigerian,
or at least we think so.
No, for any Nigerian, the next step is always Kenya. When you're doing a show. Remember what Mr. Easy said?
Yeah.
The only place you can get 100K for a show in Africa is Kenya. Only. Like you go to SA, they're going to laugh you out the door. Like in a Kenya promoter can be, I need 100K for a show. But now Wizkid is like, if we're charging Nini that much for Mr. Easy, like Wizkid's in $500,000.
Crazy.
Easy guy. We might not have a Wizkid show for another 5 years,
but we've been watching him since the very beginning. So anyway,
but see, that's the whole point. Like we've watched him grow from like an artist who came to Kenya to look for Camp Mula to one of the biggest artists in the world. We deserve a show for the culmination.
Yeah.
This is the climax. Tumefika mwisho wa safari. Show it to me from the mountaintop. Now, speaking of shows.
Yes.
Smooth transition. There's a show coming up in about a month or so.
Yeah.
And it's on a fucking Wednesday.
Oh my God.
No, like, first of all, I just want to say I love Blankets and Wine. I love everything they do.
Me too.
The last one was the one that Gold Link came for.
Yes.
I did not attend that one for protest reasons.
Why did you? Oh, it was just after he'd said that shit
Yes.
about Mark.
But they haven't listened
So
to Gold
in
Link since then.
solidarity.
Like, for real. Just kiza ngoma za Gold Link. Like, nimem cancelled from my playlist. Fuck that nigga. But anyway.
You're missing out on some bangers, but anyway.
That was some bullshit.
People
And that
say
post
some
had left go up.
shit all the time. Huh?
See that post about Mac Miller mpaka leo iko up. He's never deleted it.
Okay, can't defend a man anyway.
So, but sasa, like I looked at, I'm really excited that Blankets came back. Looked at the lineup. The lineup is solid for like, okay, I think maybe the headliner was a bit disappointing. Considering we went from Coffee and Gold Link, regardless of my feelings towards him, he's a very solid performer, he's a very solid artist. The headliner being CK.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the undercard is really dope. Musa Keys, Savara, everyone, like Suraj, everyone doing that. But I'm just wondering, why is the show on a Wednesday?
I don't know if like you've been for other Blankets and Wines, but like the thing about it that I noticed is that she don't give a fuck about your job. Like, you can decide to go out on a Sunday because that's when the traditional Blankets and Wines.
Sunday makes sense.
No, but like it's Sunday and it trickles into Monday and you mostly have to take a day off after. But like now it's a Kenyan summer edition. If it's smack dead in the middle of the festive season when we're just starting that long like
descent into
river.
alcoholism.
It's a lazy river into the new year, essentially. And like it starts around the 20th EV. Like that's the time you start feeling, na hii job.
But
I've done my best. I've done my best for the year. I don't have anything else to report. Reports probably the last week.
End of year reporting, mnaonyesha magraphs that
you've done your dues.
Sales projections were here. Good job to the sales teams. We beat our projections. All that bullshit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I feel like has there ever been a Blankets on a weekday?
No, and also I think the other thing is that we're ignoring the fact that it's in the middle of the week, yes, but a lot of people also started working from home. That's a target audience for Blankets. So like putting your laptop away at midday because you can go out in the afternoon.
Until Slack ilie. Do you know that unajua notification ya Slack? How that sound is so grating.
As a freelancer, I do not.
You ping, unasema ping.
I've never seen it.
Kwanza unaambiwa ati hi. Kwanza umeenda out suki unaambiwa hi Anita. I've noticed you're offline. We really need the sales projections for the next quarter, for the end of year reporting to the board. Please get them to me by end of day, please. Sasa hiyo uko hapo unakunywa savana. Unasikiza nani kuimbia reggae ya kinyozi savara. You're getting drunk, catching a wine. Alafu ndio sasa hiyo who's that Heather from HR. Anakuambia we need you and any certificates nini for the new updated whatever. You unless you take leave, you are not going to be comfortable at that bash.
But that's actually kind of where like I think announcing it now gives people enough time.
You take leave for 2 days.
Yes, announcing it now gives people enough time to plan like that. You get?
Okay, yeah, I get it.
But I was also like, okay,
what
other considerations?
Freelance, ujui muindi. Unachukua leave anakuambia leave ya nini? Wednesday, Thursday, we can't approve. We'll give you on Friday. Ile siku uhitaji. Watakupatia Friday, Monday. Lakini ati Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, let's look at it this way. Imagine you're leaving work, sindio? You're leaving work at 5. You work in Tao. You live on Ngong Road. You have to brave traffic, ufike home, you're tired. Your boss has been on your ass all day because they need to wrap up end of year financials and they need to do graphs and reports and whatnot from you. You get home, you shower. The event started at, it starts at midday, sindio?
Yeah.
You're already 6 hours late. You're leaving the house at like 7. Now you have to go all the way to Kasa. You have to go all the way to Kasa, get there.
The same venue as Safaricom Jazz used to be.
Yeah.
I feel like that's been a selling point.
Unapiga sherehe alafu the next morning now, because sherehe imetamba, you go there, you meet a fine babe, unamchocha, you're drunk, you forget it's the middle of the week, you're in B&D, it's 4:37, kidogo you are pizza in, it's 5:45, you have to be at work at 8, so you go home, you don't even sleep. Unaingia ofisi mazee umejimwagia a bucket of cologne because una hef. You see,
you don't take leave for 2 days. You start taking leave from that day. Unaanza tu.
But this all works on under the premise that your boss is going to give you leave. All of this works under the assumption that your boss is not a grade A asshole. Atakwambia staki, the only day you get off.
You have an office. How many people are going for blankets and wine at that office? Unless you're in an agency, then that's like most of you. But like most other offices,
zero.
Bado kuna watu wanataka kwenda kanisa, bado kuna watu wenye hawajali blankets, hata hawajui blankets and wine ni nini. So there's still people occupying the office for the most part. Then
who's going to church on Thursday?
Girl, let me not.
Like if this was a Sunday Monday issue, I could because Sunday Monday ungelala, like you could sleep through Friday, Saturday, Sunday ungie uko na nguvu, Monday unaweza make.
Church is a metaphor. Not actual church. Niumse. You know the watiaji in the office, they don't give a fuck about stuff like partying on a Wednesday.
Oh, yeah,
you know, so like it's a figurative meaning for that. Anyway,
I bet blankets is gonna be good.
Yeah, it will.
Despite the fact that it's on a Wednesday, which is kind of weird to me. So, if you can't get time off, or if you don't have a job, no, have you not seen your unemployed friend post?
Unemployed, bana.
Yes,
your unemployed friend at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. Blankets and wine.
Blankets and wine. Exactly. But so, if you're the unemployed friend in this scenario, end up. If you can't get leave, by the way, don't risk your job for a party. Like I'll just give you some good advice.
Just go later. It'll still be.
Just let FOMO kill you. You won't die. Well, yeah, shout out to them. Actually, I'm glad that they're bringing it back. I'm definitely sure I'm not gonna go for this one, but I know the next one when it's on a weekend, I will be front and center, regardless. Hata kama ni mimi na headliner, like even if they have nobody performing. In fact, hata wakileta Samido, I will be there front and center. Nikiwatch tu nikifurahia. I would love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so smooth transition into. I feel like it combines everything we've talked about pretty much. Because I wanted to talk about salt earlier, and I talked about. I was listening to some of their projects because they released 5 projects last week. Earth, 11, today and tomorrow. There's another one called Air. And there's another one called Untitled, in brackets, God. So, a lot of Salt's albums.
Untitled, in brackets, God. I feel like that's what's... Ukipata idea Mungu, even though imeandikwa.
I mean,
it's like... name. It's Untitled, in brackets, God.
It's more... that one is more of a gospel type situation. Or like, what you would say, like, Jesus is King was. But like, with even less Jesus is King imagery. Like, it's all black. So something I noticed about the way that Salt promotes their albums is they don't at all. Like, you find out about it from them directly. They're the ones that have given you the bad boy piece of information.
Wanakwambia like, here nigga, damn, take this nigga.
Sasa ni kuna link ya WeTransfer. Some of you have gotten the message with the password. This is the password. So like literally I found out the password from someone on my TL.
So they're like, yo, here's the link, here's the password, go download the thing.
Go download the thing. It's what the Guardian is calling it's a generous act. Like they're just giving you good vibes, 56 songs and
56?
curated. Yeah. And curated, they haven't told you who the features are. It's for you to figure out. So like for most of the weekend, my friends and I are trying to figure out, okay, sawa, we've had Chronics here, we've had Cleo Soul here, we've had Little Sims here.
So those guys just dumped a bunch of VLC files and told you niggas to go figure out what's going on here. Like, as in, hakuna track list, hakuna kitu yote, hakuna metadata.
No media, no nothing.
Shika hii shit, track 1.
And I was really interested, especially because one, I know you will not listen to that shit.
No, I will. Like,
you should.
I like Vitukaizo because they feel like ARGs, augmented reality games, where there's a goal, there's a target for me to figure out, and there's something for me to work towards.
But see when the anti spoken word, anti mafilo,
Ati mafilo? Do you mean mafilo?
Okay, no, actually you're pro mafilo. I think we debunked this.
Did we not listen? Like, I have a playlist called Candlelight Essentials. As in, the Savage Garden on that playlist. Truly, madly, deeply.
Okay, so let me just say that.
The songs I listen to when I shower.
So what we're saying is, despite you not liking spoken word, you're still anigawama feelings.
Of course.
Okay, so that's on the record. That's all I needed.
Lakini sitaki my feelings because nasemwa na mtu asema, Cynthia. Jesus died for all our Cynthias.
All I'm saying, especially because a lot more artists are incorporating poetry in their albums, and we talk a lot about like full projects.
Delete the poetry part.
Okay, there's poetry, there's beats. It's a combination of a bunch of stuff. But like for people who like listening to like albums that are curated in a certain way, it might be a bit of a disjointed listen. But I personally enjoyed it because I was like, I listen to music for the sake of music. Like it sounds good. Can tell the artists are having a lot of fun with this. Cleo Soul sings her ass off. Like, I think 11 is my favorite project so far. I haven't listened to all of them, but 11 is a really strong project. But my point was just talking about like the ethos of Salt and the way that they release their music and how it goes in conflict with what you understand about the music business. What do you think might work for some like for them?
You know, the thing with them, outside the whole, like, we're not giving you metadata stuff, is like this is something that people have been doing for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's just that streaming fucked everything up. Like, remember in the blog era, in the blog era, no album came out without a promo mixtape. And almost always that promo mixtape was better than the album. Because the promo mixtape didn't need to get a sample clearance. You and your buddies were just having fun. You're in the studio with whoever. You are literally given a budget by the label to go record a mixtape. But now you're not recording with the big producers. You're just going back like to the street and asking, you've been given 20,000 by the label to record a 10-track mixtape. So you're just going to pay some dude in a random corner $1,000, and they're going to give you the weirdest beat you've ever had, and then you rap over it with Norma. And then you put it out, and then people end up fucking with that project more than your actual release. So the whole ethos of giving out music for free has been there. It used to be like more of a promo tool, more than just like giving shit out. But careers have been built on free music. Careers of very well-established artists have been built on free music. A$AP Rocky's first tape, free. Big Sean's first tape, free. Wiz Khalifa's first tape, free. Big Crit, free. Comeback Season, Drake, free. All of them were music that was just given to you. Just here, damn nigga, here, have some, enjoy it. And then like it was to rope you in. I really like it, and I feel like streaming killed that because now there's no kulikuwa na path. Yeah, free music to paid music.
Yeah.
Now if everything is paid, there's no point in making the free stuff because the free stuff was an entryway. But if they're flipping, are they flipping it around where it's going from like listen to us here and then just here, like listen to us on Spotify and then take this free shit that we're giving you on WeTransfer?
No,
is it
like,
working that way?
So they sent, so the WeTransfer link came out last week, and then later in the week, I think around Friday, on my new releases tab on Spotify, now I find 11, and I'm like, oh, so you guys are gonna do this anyway? Like you're going to put it out on DSPs later on? but at the same time, like that whole essence of it being like a bad boy piece of information, a lot of fans really liked that because they were like, yo, why wouldn't you tell us you guys are going to have projects coming out? Why would you tell us who's going to be on them? Like, we're finding out pole pole, but you have to listen to the music to find out, which I think was it's a lot of fun. It makes music a lot more fun than
I feel
it has been in the past couple of years.
The release, like just releasing it like that with no details, that's for the mega fan. That's for the guys who are like, that's for like 2,000 people max.
No, like I can't explain to you how I found Salt either. Like I can't tell you, and like I know eventually now I grew into finding out that like Cleo Soul was part of them, or like had sang with them. And they're also just talking about a bunch of stuff that might not be palatable for labels. And
this is okay. Do you know the thing with Salt?
Mass music.
Salt is like, I feel like it's what happens when you just give artists full creative control, full creative control. Do whatever you want. So for them, this isn't a biz. This isn't
it's
like
not about getting
hakuna profit. It's not about streams. This is just about artistic expression, which I fuck with heavy, by the way.
What kind of album would you make if you didn't have to recoup money to some guy? That's pretty much what Salt answers. Yeah. You didn't have some guy telling you that this is what the kids are listening to right now.
There's no one in your head telling you TikTok. We need a TikTok.
Exactly.
We need a goddamn TikTok.
Because they're making it's an ode to like African American and Black British music. One, and then you can have like a rapper here. You can have someone coming to make like a reggae beat here. You can have someone like.
It's music for the people.
It's music for the people.
It's music for the people.
It puts a lot of stuff back into our hands, and like they didn't even want to be playlisted. They just told us if you have WeTransfer and like 600 MB of space somewhere, we're downloading.
You know the best part about that thing is like once we download it, anybody who downloads it can just reshare it.
Yeah.
You can create your own WeTransfer link, and that was my favorite thing about the blogger and getting music for free. Was that even if like you put out a tape and you pulled it down. It's always going to be hosted by somebody else somewhere. You can always find it. Like, they can never take off like the blogger or mixtapes or even Salt off the internet because it's spread too far, too fast to the point where you can't scrub it off. Unless you're Disney. With that, Disney are the only people who can actually scrub shit off the internet. Don't play with their lawyers. Yeah, but I'm glad they're doing that. I feel like I was listening to a Meghan Trainor song, Juicy, and I was like, ugh.
Oh my God.
I was like, ugh, I was really frustrated.
Did you like Meghan Trainor at some point? I kind of had.
Meghan Trainor was an industry plant.
I had my days.
By the fast food industry, by the way.
What?
To promote unhealthy eating habits. All about the bass, no treble. I'm all about the bass. That is my Nini conspiracy theory, by the way.
Oh my God.
How Jamini Suki is shocked.
Episode 10, guys.
Episode 10. Should we end it here?
Episode 10 and I'm still shocked. Yes, we can
Let's end it here. I feel like on that bombshell.
Yeah.
Come on, Jeremy Clarkson. Let's end it here. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for vibing with us. It's been episode 10. Once again, please remember that was my little conspiracy theory. It is not fact. Do not go. Msiende kunisema. I hate pop stars. Mastans wao watakuja kunisumbua kwa mentions and I don't want that. Anyway, thank you for vibing with us. Catch everything else that's on the channel. The mics are open. The Wildcard, Venant, Lockdown Sessions, Wake Up Call, kila kitu yote. They were never sold when it comes out on audio. Yeah. I know we told you Maya Mola would be here, but due to circumstances, she was not able to make it. But we will try to get her here as soon as possible. So
we have a lot more planned, so stay tuned. And thank you so much for rocking with us for 10 episodes, man. Peace.
Bye.